This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to A Sharp Outlook on K4HD Radio and Talk 4 TV. I am Angela Sharp, your host. Our armchair discussions with industry experts will give you the steps, tools, and information to be successful in business and to prepare you to be your best self. Hello, I'm Angela Sharp, and thank you for joining us on A Sharp Outlook. Today, we're going to be talking about a healthy lifestyle, something that all of us need to engage in. If you've been feeling overwhelmed by all the conflicting advice out there, you're in good company today. Between Google rabbit holes and influencer rules, it can start to feel like your body's signals are getting drowned by everyone else's opinions. That's exactly why my guest today created her Anti-Inflammation Kickstart guide. Inside, you'll find clear, realistic habits that work with your life, not against it. No counting, cutting, or obsessing, just small shifts that help you feel better from the inside out. Imagine waking up without the heaviness in your body, your energy throughout the day, your belly calm after meals, your mind clear enough to actually enjoy the evening. That's what happens when you give your body consistency instead of chaos. We're going to be talking about this, and there is a free health consultation and action plan session, and that link will be given to you so that you can map out your next month, set clear priorities, and create a simple plan that you can actually follow. My guest today is Crystal Baus. Crystal Baus is a national board certified health and wellness coach and founder of Health Style Collective. She empowers women to take control of their health, reduce inflammation, and prevent the onset of chronic disease so they can feel vibrant, confident, and fully alive again. Diagnosed with ulcerative colitis at age 5, Crystal learned firsthand how to manage inflammation naturally without medication and has since helped hundreds of women do the same. Through her proven C3 method, Crystal, Clarity, and Calm, she blends functional nutrition, motivational interviewing, and evidence-based behavior change strategies to help clients reconnect with their bodies and balance blood sugar and digestion and create habits that truly last. That is really important, very important. And we want to definitely know about that. Crystal is passionate about cutting through the noise, modern wellness to make health practical, personalized, and sustainable. Her mission is bold yet simple: to help people feel good again. Prevent the onset of chronic disease as much as possible and stay that way. She is the owner and founder of Health Style Collective, a health coaching practice where she helps clients create personalized action plans for better health. Crystal, please join us. We want to hear about all these wonderful things so we can become healthy and not have chronic inflammation and actually enjoy, eating, dining, partying, doing things, and still can get up and move around and not be fuzzy head and everything like that. So welcome to A Sharp Outlook.
Thanks, Angela. Happy to be here.
Yes. Well, you mentioned something about ulcerative colitis at the age of 5. Goodness, that had to be really difficult for you. I had ulcerative colitis at the age of 17, and
Wow,
I had 18 years, and it was devastating. It had to be difficult for you.
Yeah, it was. I mean, there was a lot of painful moments, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, it's not something people at 5 years old are usually diagnosed with. And yours at 17 was pretty young too. People
Mhm.
usually don't get diagnosed with it like until their late 30s or 40s.
And I what I did find out was that it was related to inflammation. So I'm excited to finally, know the truth. I mean, I suffered desperately, and I know others that are out there, they are suffering also, with a lot of pain and different things. And so we'll talk about that more. But your plans incorporating whole, fiber rich, and anti inflammatory foods like oats, beans, flax, and healthy fats like avocado into the diet. You also recommend reducing sugar and refined carbohydrates. How's that working out with your clients? Especially pushing back with the sweets.
Yeah. Sweets and sugar is always a hot topic.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah, so all of those things can help with inflammation. And how is it working out with clients? Most of my clients come to me, they already know sugar is bad for them. It's a matter of uncovering the why behind the habit of, reaching for those refined carbs and sweets. And, sometimes that why is like habit related, or it could be stress or comfort they get from eating them. So, like, digging into that emotional reason why they're reaching for those things.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think there might even be a misunderstanding. Everybody thinks sweets um, only affects, your body and causes diabetes. That's a whole nother issue. But they don't realize that it's causing inflammation, which really brings about multiple diseases are caused by inflammation. You highlight the importance of daily movement also, prioritizing sleep and staying hydrated. Do you treat people with all types? And is there an age range?
Um, so I treat people with all body types. I typically work with driven women in their 30s to 50s. They're usually professionals juggling a lot, dealing with stress and gut issues and inflammation. So, body type doesn't matter. Mindset is what matters. So I start with my clients like where their body is at today. And every plan is personalized for that
Mhm.
person's lifestyle, stress, and the goals they want to reach. That's what guides the approach for their program.
Well, you mentioned managing the stress. I hear that all the time from my physician. You have to manage your stress. You know, I need somebody to help me understand what that is. Managing stress is a key component of overall well-being and managing physical health markers like cholesterol. What does that mean?
Oh, exactly. I get that question all the time. So, stress affects everything. It affects digestion, hormones, sleep, and your cholesterol.
Mhm.
So, like when you're under chronic stress, meaning like stress all of the time, which, everyone has stress. You're not
Mhm.
going to get through life without stress. So, when you're under the chronic stress, your body releases cortisol, which signals the liver to release more sugar and fat into the bloodstream.
Mm.
And that includes the LDL cholesterol. Um, so that's why stress management isn't just like mental health, it's metabolic health as well. So I teach what I call micro calm moments.
Mhm.
And these are simple resets you can build into your day. So, resets, for example, like just even 2 deep breaths before a meeting. I did that before we got on here, and it took
Okay.
like, you know, 30 seconds. Um, or a quick stretch between calls. And then, one thing that's really important today is creating boundaries with your device. because once you open up your phone, you know, you have all these alerts, and those all can be triggers for people.
Right, right. I've never had it out of all these years, and there's a lot. I've never had anyone exactly explain why they kept telling me manage your stress. I never realized it affect, you know, cholesterol and all those other things, and then, you know, releasing things, you know, into the body, and especially that cortisol thing. I know about that cortisol. That's really is a problem, and that's why you can have, you know, the ulcerative colitis and the Crohn's, because the inflammation just builds up. And but I
Yeah.
didn't understand what it was. Thank you for.
Yeah, my pleasure. And, you know, even taking it just one step further. So, stress can cause as much inflammation in your body as food.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to get on it. I'm going to get on it. I'm going to start taking a couple breaths and, you know, just, you know, touch the floor and then stand up and reach for the sky just a couple times just to like calm it down.
Yeah.
Because I, you know, like I said, I've lived with ulcerative colitis. I know what stress can do, and I know what inflammation can do. And so, and you don't want to wait until you get to that point. So, yeah, it's time to learn how to calm down, and that's what we need to do. You recommend the use of natural remedies like dandelion and green tea to support liver health, digestion, and cholesterol levels as part of a balanced lifestyle.
Yes, all very important. And, you know, natural support works best when it's part of a balanced foundation. So,
Mhm.
you know, not using those things is just a quick fix, but, you know, it's part of your health foundation, if you will. Um,
Yeah. Well, I have my dandelion tea in my pantry and
oh,
the
yeah.
green teas too. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, after that battle with colitis and finding out that all I needed to do was get control of my inflammation, and this
Mhm.
native medicine woman told me to drink devil's claw, and they, you know, it not only did it calm the cholesterol. From the time I drank it 35 years ago, I have never had another episode. And I've had my colonoscopies, and it's not there. And so, you know, I speak highly, and I tell people, just do this. You will find the inflammation going away. And it's so, and then of course the dandelion tea. Yeah, and just a reminder, not all teas taste good, but you gotta keep in
So,
mind the sickness doesn't taste good either. So just drink the tea and be well.
yeah. So what does devil's claw taste like?
It's terrible. It's like the worst, but you just get it down, and you can immediately feel the joints, you know, that feel swollen, and the fingers that feel swollen, and the, you know, suffering, the pain that you're feeling. You feel like immediate improvement. And so, and the fact that I saw that happen in my life is just something that I really, really, really uh, talk about on a regular basis. So, how do you define holistic health, and why is it important for especially busy professionals?
Yeah, so holistic health means the whole person. So food, mindset, boundaries, relationships, joy, and nutrition, like it's all connected.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
basically, like you can eat perfectly and still feel awful if your life is out of alignment.
Yeah. Getting into balance. I think especially professionals, because there's so much demand in so many areas. You don't know how to cut it off. You know, you don't know how to close the door and say, okay, I'm taking my professional hat off. I don't want to hear anything, do anything. And then you start, you know, enjoying your time. I've had to do that over the years. Just I just consider them as hats. I'm wearing this hat for right now, but I'm going to take it off. I have this hat on for right now, and I'm going to take it off. And when I take my hat off, I leave it behind. If somebody would call, I'm sorry, I don't have that hat on right now.
Uh-huh.
So that
Yeah.
I can, maintain that calm and that balance in my life, because, life has a lot of demands just all by itself. And then when you have children, those are demands also. And then you have, other things that you're working at. I mean, it can get overwhelming. It really can. So,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I never thought about holistic being everything that you're doing. I was always thinking it was okay. I'm eating holistically, I'm taking tea
Uh-huh.
and things holistically, but I never thought about just my everyday life being a part of that whole holistic plan. Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
incredible.
Like health is built into your daily systems,
Hmm.
and for busy professionals, if you have a sustainable system that gives you more freedom, not restriction. And then, you mentioned like people with kids, and then like it's even like more things to do, more stressful. And then the kids are looking to the parents, for examples. So, just making sure the kids know how to eat healthy, to live long, healthy, happy lives.
Right, right. Don't start them out on all of those carbohydrates and snacks and things that you know. And these days, maybe before we didn't have as much information and knowledge, but you can go in and look at products and you can tell it's filled with things that your body doesn't need, and it's going to fight you back because of it. So don't start your children on all of those snacks and processed foods. And I'm sorry, get a cookbook if you don't know how to cook, because you really need to put some wholesome food in your children, so that they can also be healthy. You specialize in anti-inflammatory health. What are what are the most common misconceptions people have about inflammation and diet?
So most people think inflammation only shows up as like pain or swelling. So oftentimes it actually signals like fatigue, low energy, brain fog, bloating. It could even affect like your mood and also stubborn weight. So these are all signs that your body is under stress.
Hmm. Wow. Boy, you must be reading my mail. You're telling me all the things that are happening. Oh my goodness. You, like I said, you get yourself fixated that this thing here I know is inflammation, but I never think about all those other things being a form of inflammation. Oh my goodness. Wow, you're
Hmm.
really helping me a lot. What is the Health Style Collective? And what is the core philosophy?
Health Style Collective is my private coaching practice designed for driven women in their 30s to 50s who feel inflamed, overwhelmed, stuck, and they're tired of starting over. A lot of them are dealing with gut issues, low energy, and stubborn weight. And then I think you asked the core philosophy. So, health should fit your lifestyle and habits that align with real life and not add more stress.
Yeah, that's, like I said, I don't think I know I haven't, and I imagine majority of people out there do not think about health being holistic. They think it's a like one little disease that they have, or a disease that they've heard about, or you know, the shots they're taking, the pills they're taking, but they don't realize holistic means incorporating everything, a peaceful mind, laughter, and or just being angry. Anger can cause inflammation because it does something inside the body. I mean, there's just wow. we have to start thinking holistically about every emotion, every thought, everything we're putting in our bodies, everything we're doing with our bodies. It really is head to toe. I used to hear that all the time, head to toe from my mom,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it didn't make any sense. Okay, head to toe, head to toe. Okay.
Yeah. Everything's connected. And, from a holistic standpoint, that's like where I created my C3 method, crystal clarity and calm, as the foundation. So we clarify what the body truly needs, and then consistency, building steady, realistic habits, and then calm to lower stress so healing can actually happen.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I'm going to remember the 3 C's. That really is important. It's like I said, most people don't even break that out. You go to your physician all the time, and they tell you your different levels and things like that, and then they say, well, you have to stop doing this, you have to stop doing that, you have to do, okay, this is working okay, but this isn't working okay. So that's wonderful, but if you don't give people some instructions as to what it is when you say stop doing this because it's causing these problems, then I'm not informed enough to even be able to make the changes I need to make in my lifestyle. And I don't know what's wrong with the medical field. They can't add a little more conversation and present a little more knowledge to their patients. Hello, a little more knowledge would maybe cut down the visits. Oh, maybe that's what. Never mind. Another topic.
That's where I come in to
Mhm.
help clients build those habits and learn how to do it. You know, my training is science backed, and the programs are compassion led, merging nutrition with behavior psychology and stress regulation. So
Yeah,
people can actually form those habits that stick.
yeah. And it, we have habits that we've set up in our lives. The problem being they've been bad habits. So just having to change those habits. And I don't think the knowledge is out there for people to understand what are some of the bad habits. They're not just eating. There's other bad habits of not, like you mentioned, getting the proper amount of sleep and things like that. What do you think about what are some of the habits that people have that they need to change?
Oh gosh, there's a lot. Some people, and what I've found is it's usually like emotionally driven, the habits. Like, some people, they might get glued to the couch and not want to get off. Like, so then they're living a sedentary lifestyle, not getting movement. But what is that tied to? Maybe they're not happy. Maybe they don't have confidence. Maybe, I mean, it could be all different kinds of things going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, getting in a routine of not moving. Um, it can be how people manage their stress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And like I said, I don't. Some people they just going through the day and they're pretending everything's okay, and they're not facing the fact that they really are feeling stress and taking the right steps to actually deal with it and manage it, like you have told us, um, so that they don't end up now with something even worse, and they're ill and they're sick or they're in bed with pain that's hard to tolerate. So now you're taking all these medications that cause even other problems that could have been done by just recognizing and just being truthful with themselves. I'm unhappy. I'm
Yeah.
upset. I'm angry. Some people were in working environments where they have a boss that is not the friendliest, and uses intimidation instead of coaching, their staff. And so they're always on edge and they're always, feeling afraid and different things like that. Of course, it starts with the manager needing some coaching and some training as to that's not a motivating factor for people, intimidating them. And in fact, it is a form of abuse. So, we need to have managers that understand their staff and treat their staff correctly, and have a work environment where everybody feels like they're on a team and can safely participate without, consequences. So there's just all these different environments that are there. But if they don't tell themselves the truth, they're not going to be able to work with it, right?
Yeah, definitely. So getting to know themselves better and the mind-body connection, super important.
Yeah. And contacting someone like you to be honest with.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes,
say,
it takes people time to figure out, what their body's telling them.
mhm,
A question I ask a lot is like, well, when this happened, whatever scenario it may be, like, where did you feel that in your body? But if you're not asking yourself that question, like, it takes time to remember to ask yourself that question and then to really identify like where you might be feeling whatever emotion that triggered.
you mentioned that you sit down and you put together like plans with your clients. How do you help clients co-create that personalized action-based plan on their unique lifestyles and resources? How do you get them to do that?
So I use MI, which is motivational interviewing, to help
Mhm.
clients themselves uncover what actually feels doable and enjoyable to them and their specific lifestyle. And it's like you can't force transformation. You have to like invite it in. So once we figure out, their why and what's the motivating factor or factors behind that, then we start building, I call it habit stacking. So we add one or two small, meaningful habits each week. So then
Mm.
by the over 6 months, imagine what, creating 1 to 2 new habits each week over 6 months. Those small shifts completely transform energy, confidence, and consistency. Uh, so, the personalization is the key part, because if people don't enjoy it, you're not going to sustain it. So we find what the person enjoys, what would work for them to reach their goals, and they're supported through every step of the way.
Mhm. Wow. It's kind of, sometimes you get just so busy, you forget to think about something that you enjoy, you know, something that you enjoy doing, something that makes you laugh, something that makes you smile, something that just totally changes your atmosphere within yourself for the day. Because everyone just, they get on that. It's almost like, what's the little gerbils on the wheel? They just get on the wheel and just run. And they're not
Yeah, that's
thinking. They're
gerbils
just,
or hamsters.
yeah, yeah. And just, they're just running the wheel, and they forget that, hey, you're a human being. Hey, you're a human being with purpose. Hey, you're a human being with goals. Hey, get off the wheel and start doing what really makes you happy. I mean, some people, okay, because of circumstances, yes, you decided that you needed to just go get a job so you could pay those bills, or, take care of that family or things like that. But is that something that really makes you happy? Is that something you really enjoy? If not, start thinking about, you know, what you really would want to be doing if you could. And you can if you really start thinking about it and putting energy towards it. and finding people like you that can help them make those steps and make those decisions and get a new life. Instead of staying on the wheel, because it doesn't make you happy. You're just running as fast as you can, and you run even faster, so you don't allow the hurt, the pain, the anger, the frustration, the unhappiness to catch up with you. But eventually you're going to grow older, and you're going to feel this crush of all this unhappiness because you have not worked on what really, really you enjoy and wanted to do all your life. That's just, wow. What role does an inner self mastery approach play in physical well being? Tell us about what that is. Yeah.
So that's we kind of touch on it a little bit, with the mind body connection.
Mm-hmm.
So learning to respond, not to react,
Mm-hmm.
Having emotional regulation and physical regulation, and your body listens to everything your mind says. So it's also it also has to do with self-talk. And, when the mind slows, the body can heal. So going back to connecting, like, that question, where did you feel this in your body from, whatever may have happened? So
Mm-hmm.
figuring that out and how to listen to that, and then knowing what to do.
How do you bridge the gap between wellness and strategy in your work?
I always tell clients, like, just like you would have a strategy for your business or your career, you need one for your health and life. Strategy brings that clarity and focus, and without it, you're just reacting. So that's why, together in my programs, we design the personalized health strategy that aligns with my clients' goals, lifestyle, and their bandwidth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily about doing more. It's about doing what matters most to the person and doing it consistently. And people's health deserves as much attention as their success.
That is really interesting. I really like that, Crystal. I never thought about that. I mean, we have our mind, we have our body. I never thought about the fact that the body is reacting to what my mind is saying. And sometimes my thoughts probably aren't healthy. and my body's reacting because my mind is thinking it. Wow. So we got to keep our minds together, a little bit. So I'd never, like I said, I think we've just kind of segmented our life. And so we think, okay, we got our mind, and then we have our body, and then we have our eating, and then we have our lifestyle, and then we never pulled it all together. And so hasn't been working out very well for many of us. So it's really nice to know how much my thoughts and my mind really has an impact on what's happening in my body. And you mentioned, setting those boundaries, and especially the work and family, and maintaining a healthy lifestyle. I never even thought about building a strategy for your lifestyle and things like that, because, those are things we were just never taught. We were just, get out of school, go to college, get a job, pay the bills, end of life. I mean, that's what we've been told. We've never been told that you can have dreams. You can work on your dreams. You can do the things that you dreamed of doing with the same energy and succeed and be happy. We just are out there just going through those steps. Go to school, go to college, get a job, buy a house, have a kid. Life's over. And there's more to it. There really is more to it. And I don't think anyone understands that. Huh. Yeah. And yes, maintaining boundaries. I think most of us don't have the courage to say, I don't like this. And
Hmm.
this is my expectation. And I need this to stop, or I need to walk away.
Hmm.
Protect me. Yeah. That's,
Yeah.
hmm. What?
Boundaries can be tough. And, it's like they're not walls. It's more like they're filters for your own peace.
Mm-hmm.
And, I, I kind of, I view mine as like, I look at it as, my energy protector. Like, so I know where to set them based on, what fills my cup and what empties it, or what drains or restores my energy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Definitely the things that drains you. You and everybody knows where those what they're where that is. It's like, what steps do you do to stop that from happening is our decisions they have to make, but you just can't let someone drain you, or some job drain you, or something drain you, and take away all of your energy from what it is that you really would love to be doing. And you don't have the energy left because you've allowed all of these things to just absolutely suck your life out. Shouldn't be letting that happen. What's your personal philosophy on food as medication versus, taking a bunch of pills for quick fixes?
Oh yeah. Well, through my own personal experience, food is medicine. Food is just hands down medicine. Everything that you eat, put in your body, that's communicating something to your body, whether it's good or bad. So it teaches your body safety and
Mm-hmm.
stability. So like food is information. Depending on what food you're putting in, of course. Um, so I focus on nourishment, not punishment, because nobody wants to be feeling that feeling of guilt, if
Mm-hmm.
they ate something. Um, so it's like you can't out supplement or out discipline an overwhelmed nervous system. So tying food into that and those emotional connectors also plays a big role.
You are really helping me, and I know you're helping the audience. I do make healthy meals, and it's all natural, and I cook myself. But I never thought about food being medicines. I take my teas and herbs, but I never thought the fact
Mhm.
food is medicine, and it tells my body something when I eat it, or or can change how I feel or whatever. I never thought about these things. I mean, you're really making us have a real concept as to what we're putting in our body really is important. I mean,
Mhm.
it's it's really important. You're really helping me. This is such good news here.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm gonna have a gosh. Okay, there goes all those donuts and cakes and pies and
Oh,
chocolates.
oh, now I hear you feeling like you're gonna be missing something, but what we would crowd out. So uh,
Hmm.
crowding out means like adding in the good stuff, but good
Hmm.
stuff that you enjoy.
Right.
And
Right.
so like I don't tell my clients, don't do this, don't do that, but instead we work in the good,
Hmm.
which helps with the mindset, and we
Hmm.
find what you enjoy that is good.
Right. 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 Definitely. Definitely. What's the most rewarding part of the work you do?
Seeing my clients light up when they feel good again. So watching them realize, being healthy doesn't have to be hard. And, the moment the women say, I finally feel like myself again, like that's just everything and brings me joy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I have bells and whistles going off just like listening to what you're saying, and I actually have a different mindset. So even when I'm cooking, I'm going to start paying more attention. Even though I try to put specific things together for specific purposes. Years ago, I had a restaurant. I opened a restaurant specifically for health education, and I would have specific things in my meal, and I would explain to you know the customers that you want to be eating these, and you want to eat this, and this is what organ it impacts. This is what disease that it can help repair. I mean, just so it was just a really fun time I had, just having that
Yeah.
restaurant. And so I started learning a lot about foods and how to combine them and which ones are really, really helpful. And in fact, I do use food to manage my health and things like that, to the point where I had a doctor drop me because he couldn't give me anything. He couldn't give me any medicines. He couldn't. It's like, no, I have tea for that. Blah 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 blah. So he finally probably figured out I can't make any money on her. I need to bring somebody else in. So he actually dropped me as a patient. So now I have a great doctor. He's a young guy that listens to me and even believes in holistic medicines. And I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
he is just great. So it was a good thing. But
That's
yeah,
amazing. I love that.
yeah, it's just learning more and more about all these things. And I always got in the habit, if I look on the back and it's got a bunch of words in it that I can't even spell or don't even know what it is,
Yeah.
I know it's something I don't want to eat.
That is a great rule of thumb to follow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And most things should only have 3 or 4 ingredients. When you got 15 ingredients there, there's something wrong.
And ones that you can't even pronounce, you don't even know what they are.
Yeah, that's a chemical. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. And I know, I come from an era where, the women cooked holistic meals because they cooked, prepared their meals at home and didn't go out dining. But even when I dine, I check restaurants, I read and see what kind of ingredients on their menus, whether or not I'm going to go there and dine, because I don't want to be ill. I don't want to be placed on medications. And I don't want to make you rich while I'm, losing years on my life because of the foods I ate there. So yeah, what we put in is important. We just don't eat just to fill a space. We eat to talk to our body. I love you. Let me eat this. You've been growling.
Food is fuel.
Yes, it's fuel, and it shouldn't be, hurting your body or, making you sick. Like you said, you wake up and your stomach is, ooh, or you can't sleep all night just because of the different foods you've put in. Really pay attention to what you are putting in your bodies, because, like you said, it is fuel, and it talks to you. Wow, I got a new attitude.
Oh,
Yes, I do.
amazing.
What do you hope listeners take away from our conversation today?
That good health is possible when you simplify, and you're not broken. You're just overwhelmed. There's lots of information out there. And, clarity, consistency, and calm equals lasting results.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So tell me, how can listeners connect with you and learn more about Health Style Collective?
I am on Instagram at Health Style Collective. So business name at Health Style Collective on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. And I understand that you're going to be hosting a mini training. Tell us about that.
Yes, I'm very excited about this. It's my Stop Starting Over Master Training happening on December 11th. It's so people can come learn how to build healthy habits that finally stick. And it's all about helping women get unstuck and build those habits that actually last so they can let go of that stubborn weight, have more energy, reduce that inflammation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually clicked on some of your like exercise videos that you have.
Uh-huh.
Those are, tell the audience how they can click on there. They are fun, they are wonderful, and you just feel like she's in the room with you working out. Tell them about that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so I post all kinds of things on Instagram. It could either be, workouts, mindset, stress relief, reducing inflammation, increasing your energy. So all of that information is on Instagram, and sounds like I've already motivated Angela. I'm so glad. So
Oh, absolutely. I'm working out with you.
yeah. And
And you
then
also, oh,
if people do want to do a one-on-one health consultation, they can book a
mhm.
free discovery call at the link in my bio on Instagram.
Okay, great. And also you have this book that you have on inflammation, anti-inflammation. Tell us where they can get this book so that they can learn about some of the things that they're eating that's really causing them a lot of problems.
Yes, it's super easy. You can just click on my Instagram and the link in my bio. You can download the free Kickstart guide from there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Because like we both have suffered from a problem due to inflammation, and it's kind of interesting because, like I say, I was only 17, and we were eating very wholesome foods. So I'm not sure how the inflammation. One thing I did learn when I talked with the woman that gave me the devil's claw, she told me not to eat white potatoes because there's an enzyme in it, and people aren't aware that can cause, the body sees it and wants to attack and can cause inflammation in the body. So not to eat, don't eat white potatoes, don't eat, white bread, and certain, and the sugars. But when she told me
Yeah.
that, I changed my diet, started drinking the devil's claw. And when I first got it, it wasn't even the one I first found out about it. It wasn't a tea. I was at this conference learning about herbs and plants and things like that. And so she walked up and I told her, I said, "You look like my grandmother." And we were just talking. And then I told her about, the problem I had. And she explained what I needed to do. And she had a plant. She had the devil's claw plant there. And she
Wow.
gave it to me. And she said, "You take the leaves off and then also get a little piece of this little thing, root thing that was on it, and cut it up and make tea out of it." So I had the actual plant that I started using.
Yeah. I'm going
And
to look into devil's claw.
yeah, devil's claw. Yeah. Well, um, the pharmaceutical industry actually uses it for steroids.
Wow.
So I said, "Oh, so you know the truth about it, and you made a pill, but I don't want the pill because they had me on that."
Uh-huh.
So and so yeah, it really helped a lot. It doesn't taste great, but it even helped me when I had COVID before they even had medicines for COVID. I drank the devil's claw, and it kept inflammation from being around my heart and in my body. And
Wow.
so it's one of my favorites. Whenever I feel the inflammation, I'm pretty in tune to what that feels like.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's really good. And then I drink a lot of hibiscus tea that is an anti-inflammatory too.
So good.
So yeah, it's just been wonderful. I really want to thank you for being here today. You have informed us definitely, and I'm looking forward to put some of those great things into practice. So thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Angela.
Yeah. And for those that tuned in, I'm wishing that all your health behavior can be changed by contacting Crystal and on Instagram and getting your free inflammation book and working out with her. And one of the things I want to say that A Sharp Outlook is here every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Time. And the one thing we want you always to do is stay informed. I want to thank you for joining us on A Sharp Outlook. We have been informed and energized to take the next steps. We have posted links to websites and videos to learn more on today's topic. Please join us again next week for another thought-provoking conversation right here on K4 HD Radio and Talk 4 TV. Listen to the podcast on all the podcast apps. And until next week, stay informed.